Lord English is a temporal monstrosity capable of obliterating the fabric of reality that was built up to be Spurb's final ultimate boss because of the story's events unfolding. If you're not interested in sitting through Big Bird's impeccable Homestuck in Chronological Order series, which neatly and with just about no complication summarizes the Homestuck timeline, I'll put the relevant stuff into a smaller nutshell. The game that serves as the overall story engine is an apocalyptic device that destroys two universes and nearly tore 4 groups of friends apart. Session A1 ended as a dead session, glitched and unable to continue, and with a group of 12 players who weren't prepared for the game in extreme discord. After scratching the session and hard resetting the conditions of their universe, they and 12 new players, which are our trolls that we follow in Act 5, were fair game to be manipulated by one Doc Scratch. A2 Alternia became a cesspit of violence, ruthlessness, and class warfare under the Cue Ball Man's influence, using time travel and Aradia Megiddo's ancestor, the Handmaid, as a living pawn to sow caste conflict, resulting in a hostile society run by the iron-fisted tyrant that was her imperious condescension, and thus prepare the new players for their trials. Note how A1 Alternia, known as B4st4rds, doesn't have a green moon orbiting it, and A2 Alternia does. Yeah, that moon only existed in A2 onward because it served as Doc Scratch's headquarters. Our trolls win their session and create the B1 universe, but are barred entry to it because Bec Noir shows up to destroy the victory platform, and B1 becomes ripe for Scratch's manipulation, ultimately leading to the creation of the Green Sun, Bec Noir's rampage, and the B1 session going terminal and needing its own reset. Act 5 ends with the B1 kids scratching their session and rebooting their universe into the B2 session and Cherub session that all combine in Act 6, while back in the mansion on Alternia's Green Moon, Doc Scratch explosively evolves into Lord English. That's a very quick and dirty rundown of events. Again, go watch those videos for a better summary, but you get the idea. Though Doc Scratch and Lord English are one and the same, their presentations are very different and even leave different impressions on the reader. English is an ever-looming, contents-under-pressure threat that's always in the background building to a final climactic battle, but Scratch is an omniscient, calculating, magnificent chess master pulling the strings behind the scenes, making sure it all goes horribly right. All the while being creepy towards underage girls. The dapper nonce. To be completely honest, Doc Scratch was a much more effective villain than Lord English because Lord English relied on the build-up and the lore to draw intrigue, only to be a final boss fight, while Doc Scratch had more interaction with the cast and made the sickening depths of his chess game of evil more personal. That is to say, they may have always been watching from the shadows, but Lord English is just some green pimp the characters will have to fight out of obligation, while Doc Scratch created pseudo-relationships with the characters to lead them to their doom under the guise of offering assistance. The key to all of this, as shown in Aradia's tour of a dream bubble, as well as the Oter mission where Doc Scratch takes control of the narrative for a bit, is Bros Strider's Lil Cal puppet. This thing looks creepy enough without the ability to wink on its own, but adds some flash stepping to make it appear to be able to move of its own accord, and it just appears out of the void in any universe it finds itself in, and you've got the biggest prop of "I knew it!" in the comic, but that's relatively small potatoes. What makes Cal terrifying is its place as an ingredient in the creation of complete monsters running the game. To make a Doc Scratch, and by extent a Lord English, you need to take this puppet, combine it with a magic cue ball that gives omniscient, pinpoint accurate answers to all predictions, and then use the genetic codes scribbled by Aradia, Tavros, Terezi, and Vriska in their LARPing manuals, as well as that found in the Tildath coding book belonging to Karkat, put there by a version of Gamzee who killed all his friends. For those who care, the code is comprised of alphanumeric characters found in the phrases tick, tock, break, heads, and honk, honk. To upgrade to Lord English, a completely unhackable Tildath code found by resident techie Solix on a server out in Paradox Space has to be executed when 2 universes end. In this case, the Troll universe and our universe. which happens during Act 5's climax, Cascade. Later in Caliborn's chapters, or more specifically, the Masterpiece, we learn that Cal became a vessel for 4 souls sealed inside and whose attributes all manifest in Doc Scratch and Lord English. This then completes the time loop, and while there's more on this creepy doll contributing to the rise of the final boss, it's at this point we better take a look at who was sealed inside and what they contribute to the Snooker Scoundrel.